So once again, very good evening class. Today's class of the MCQ class number 16 of the UGC-NET paper 2 mass communication and journalism. So here we will discuss the questions of the communication, that is concept based communications questions. Okay. So here, so the questions is, the first question it is here, the feelings of a communicator are labeled as. Everybody will answer. So you know the communicator, who are the communicators, the sender and receiver, you know, right? So the feelings of a communicator are labeled as what? Relational informations, B, psychological informations, C, personal information, and D, social informations. Everybody will answer. This is very much important questions, right? So feelings of a communicator, right? You have to think about the communicator. Who are the communicators? Sender and receivers are the communicators. Now think about their feelings, right? The feelings of a communicator are labeled as what? Everybody will answer. अभिलाषा, मणि मेघलाई, डिम्पल, किरुबा, मंजू, मोनिता, प्याशी, जल्दी से सभी लोग आंसर कीजिए. यस, वेरी गुड. सो राइट आंसर हियर इट इज, दैट इज ए, राइट. ए जो है वो आपका राइट आंसर. इट्स नॉट द डी, इट इज ए. ओके. सो फीलिंग्स ऑफ अ कम्युनिकेटर दैट लेबल्ड आर द relational informations. Okay. Yes. So in terms of the mass communication, the feelings of a communicator are relational, as they're in exchange of the informations between two or more people, right? We exchange our thoughts, ideas, informations between two or more people, that it helps in mediating and important informations to the masses, right? So this is what about that it is talking about. It helps in mediating and important information to the masses. So in the relations, that in relations to the face-to-face communication, that our the friends, right, or the some kind of the relations. Okay. So group relations, mass relations, right? So the whatever we share the important information to the masses or the group or between two or more people, that the exchange of information is some kind of relational informations, right? So our whatever the feelings of a communicator that we exchange, that are categorized or labeled as relational informations. Everybody is clear? जल्दी से बताएंगे सभी लोग को क्लियर है? All right. Very good. Next question, it is here about question number 135. In digital mass communication, the audience is, right? Digital mass communication में audience क्या होता है? Audience large होता है, audience passive होता है, audience participatory होता है, audience uncultured होता है. Everybody will answers. This is about the digital mass communications. Okay. Everybody answer it. This is very much important and concept based questions. Okay. All right. Very good. So waiting for the timer. Timer is going to be end. So here the right answer is, that is participatory. Everybody was right. Very good. बहुत ही सुंदर. So in digital mass communication, the audience is participatory. Participatory होता है. क्यों participatory होता है? Because in the digital mass communication is related to the online media that we know, right? Like such as blogs, tagging, social bookmarking, music, photo, video sharing, participatory video projects, and the video blogs, and many more, right? So this is what that it all include the participatory audience, right? So where they can give their comments, where they can give their views, opinions on some issues, right? So these audience are even known as citizen journalists. Okay. So this is what about the digital mass communication, where we post the comments, right? Where we give our views, opinions, or anything else that we discuss on some issues. Also we create some group of we create some virtual groups also, right? This is what about the digital mass communication it's talking about, where audience is participatory in the nature. Okay. Chaliye. All right. Now the next question 136, it is here about, or just it is repeated, just let it be. 137, that is the verbal code for the communication is, everybody, the verbal code for communication is A, visual cue, B, picture, C, color, and D, language. Everybody, the verbal code for communication is. Yes. All right. The verbal code for the communication is, yes, absolutely. Everybody is right here. The right answer it is here, that is D. Okay. D means that language. The verbal code for the communication, it is here language. Okay. C, the verbal code for the communication that is composed of sounds, words, and the language, which depends upon the particular region and the culture. So language is the code for the verbal communication that you know. Okay. Visual cue that is non-verbal. ठीक है, किसी चीज को देखना और उसे संकेत होना, that is visual cue, that is non-verbal. Picture, that is no words there, no sounds there, that is what about the non-verbal communication. That in the same with the color. So language is the only appropriate options. That is what the verbal code for the communication is, language. Okay, absolutely. Next question here, it is about use of the language in mediated communication imposes agreed on. Everybody answer. Please read it twice questions. Okay, here it is talking about the use of language in mediated communication imposes agreed on artificiality, B, textuality, C, reality, and D, conformity. Everybody will answer. It is very important questions. Use of language in mediated communication imposes agreed on. Timer is going to be end. जल्दी से बताएंगे. Very good, Dimple. Here the right answer is that is C. Okay. Yes, Tendal, Manju. So this is what about the reality. Reality आपका जो है वो right answer है. So C. So mediated communications क्या होता है? Mediated communication that refers to any situations where technological, it means ICT, that medium is introduced into a face-to-face interactions. Like, okay, that the Zoom is our platform that we are able to communicate, right? This is what the mediated communications examples, right? So here it is asking about the use of language in the mediated communications imposes agreed, right? So here the example it is given about, it is asking about the language use, right? So language used in the mediated communication that imposes agreed on, that is reality. So in India, where we have so many languages, right? And the people are well versed with their regional languages, that we know, we are aware about it, that India is a diversified countries where people speaks many of the languages. Okay, language are spoken in areas, right? So that is what the regional language we have. So they want to read or view things in the same language. If a journalist has to dig out the news from the local authority or the local people, they must know the language of that particular area, right? So that what it comes here, that local people will entertain them more as compared to the one who is unaware about the regional language. Okay, so this is what that we know. The language, the use of the language is very much important in the mediated communication. That is it is talking about the reality, right? So reality is what about in terms of the in context of the India, that we have so many languages and people are well versed with the regional languages. Okay, so here the example it is given about the journalist, right? When journalist has to dig out the news from the local authority or the local people, what they have to know, they must know the language of their people, or they must know the language of their particular area. So that on then only the local people that will entertain you, okay, or will give you the or provide you the information as compared to the one who is unaware of the regional language. Okay, so this is what about the use of the language in mediated communication is talking about the reality. Okay, clear है सभी को? जल्दी से बताएंगे. All right, very good. चलिए next. Color television transmission in India started with. जल्दी से बताएंगे. Very important questions. Commonwealth Games, Sark Sports, C, Asiad Games, D, World Cup Cricket. Everybody, the color television transmission in India started with. Everybody will answer. Which games here? World Cup Cricket, Asiad, Sark Sports, or the Commonwealth Games? Very good. You have to look after the options. Yes, very good. That the answer it is right here. That is C. C जो है आपका right answer है absolutely. So Asiad Games is the right answer. Okay. So on the 25th of April 1982, this is very much important years that you have to remember. This was the day that color television हमारे country में आया. Okay. So Doordarshan started the test run of the India's first color telecast, right? Doordarshan, that which was the channel that started the test run of the India's first color test telecast, that the Doordarshans. Okay, so remember the name, the only Doordarshan was there in that time channels that started the test run of the India's first color telecast. Okay, this was a monumental breakthrough at the time of its revolutionized the TV watching for the Indian audiences. Okay, this allowed sports fan to watch that year's Asian Games in the color, right? Asian Games in the color 1982. Please remember that the day was 25th of April. That revolution आया हमारे country में टीवी देखने का, जो color टीवी देखने का, right? So this was the games what the color television transmission in India started with the Asiad Games. Okay, all clear? Okay. All right. So now the next question, it is here about the question number 140. Verbal communication is continuous, discontinuous, partial, and untimely. Everybody, please think about the questions, which is very important and conceptual based questions. Okay. So read it twice the questions. Verbal communications is continuous, discontinuous, partial, or untimely. Everybody. Those who are saying continuous, how it will be continuous? So I am giving you the example, important example, right? I have started the class at 9 o'clock, right? हमने 9 o'clock में class start किया. That is what the verbal communication that we are talking to you, right? This is verbal communications. And I will end at 9:45, right? हम 9:45 में class को end कर देंगे. So this is what the discontinuous verbal communication. It is here discontinuous. It is not the continuous. Okay. So that is what here in this example it is that. ठीक है, वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन हमेशा डिसकंटिन्यूअस होता है, किसी भी टाइम वो खत्म हो सकती है. ओके, सो वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन दैट बेस्ड ऑन द डिसकंटिन्यूअस यूनिट्स एज it can stop at any point of time, right? It can stop at any point of time. That is not possible in the case of non-verbal communications. How it is not possible in the case of non-verbal communications? Because in the case of non-verbal communications, even if the person stops speaking, the body language and the expression speaks further about the situations, right? Expressions और हमारी body language है वो continuously बात कर रही होती है, situation के साथ deal कर रही होती है. But in the case of verbal communication, it is here that I have given you the example of the class. That is what about that it will discontinue, right? Everybody has got understood how it will be discontinuous? जल्दी से बताएंगे. Yes, all right, very good. चलिए, next questions. In the term of ethical practices, the concept of golden mean was advocated by. Please, important questions. Socrates, B, Homer, C, Plato, and D, that is Aristotle. Everybody, please read it twice the questions, you will get answers. Okay. In the terms of ethical practices, the concept of golden mean was advocated by. Everybody. Yes. So here the right answer it is that is G. Yes, absolutely. D है जो right answer है. That is Aristotle. Okay. So Aristotle ने concept कौन सा concept दिया है? Aristotle has given the concept of golden mean in terms of the ethical practices that you have to remember. So what is here the concept of golden mean? Concept of golden mean is the desirable middle between two extremes. Okay. दो एक्सट्रीम के बीच में ये चीजें आपको दिखाता है. लाइट हेयर एग्जांपल दैट वन ऑफ एक्सेस एंड अदर ऑफ डिफिशियंसी, राइट? एक बहुत अत्यंत ज्यादा होना और दूसरी साइड से क्या किसी चीज का शॉर्टेज होना या कमी महसूस होना, राइट? सो हियर इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द बिटवीन टू एक्सट्रीम्स. दो एक्सट्रीम होता है, एक अपवर्ड एंड एक दैट इज व्हाट डाउन, राइट? सो प्राइस डाउन होगा, राइट? आपने डिमांड और प्राइस आपने पढ़ा होगा. डिमांड बढ़ने से प्राइस क्या होता है, प्राइस बढ़ने से डिमांड क्या होता है? दैट इज व्हाट अबाउट द इट इज वन ऑफ द एक्सिस एंड अदर ऑफ द डिफिशियंसी, राइट? सो अकॉर्डिंग टू द एरिस्टोटल, virtue is the achieved by maintaining the mean that balances the two axes, right? So virtue एक क्या है? एक हैप्पीनेस अचीव करने का मंत्र है जिसको एक गोल्डन मीन है, राइट? दैट मेंटेन द मीन दैट बैलेंसेस द टू एक्सिस, राइट? सो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स आपके दिमाग में कभी कभी आता होगा, कोई चीजें कभी कभी सिचुएशंस में आपके टाइम में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स आता हो. लाइक फॉर एन एग्जांपल, हिज व्यूज ऑन द एजुकेशन वाज एजुकेशन इज नेसेसरी ओनली if we are able to produce a society of happy as well as efficient individuals, right? So it is what about the educations, right? आप educations लेंगे तो सोसाइटी उससे क्या होगा, सोसाइटी को आप हैप्पी रख पाएंगे, खुद भी आप हैप्पी तो होंगे ही, साथ साथ में सोसाइटी को भी हैप्पी रख पाएंगे, हर एक इंडिविजुअल्स को आप हैप्पी रख पाएंगे. दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट दैट इन द टर्म्स ऑफ एथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ गोल्डन मीन, राइट, इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द middle between two extremes, right? It is talking about middle between two extremes. Okay, no, that is another thing, that is another thing that we are talking about, 1:1:6.18, right? That is the another thing. चलिए वो हम सिनेमा में बात करते हैं, दैट वी टॉक इन द सिनेमा. ओके, चलिए, ऑल राइट. सो हियर दैट इज व्हाट अबाउट द एजुकेशंस example that are given by the Aristotle, that education is the necessary only if we are able to produce a society of happy as well as of efficient individuals. तो आपको दो चीजें याद रखनी है. क्या चीजें? फर्स्ट की गोल्डन मीन का मतलब क्या होता है, व्हाट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ गोल्डन मीन. कॉन्सेप्ट इट इज दैट वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट, that is desirable middle between the two extremes, right? One of the excess and other is deficiency, right? They can ask you the questions. क्या होता है टू एक्सट्रीम्स, क्या क्या होते हैं, जल्दी से बताएंगे. वन जो होता है वन ऑफ एक्सेस एंड अदर इज, एवरीबॉडी दे कैन गिव यू द क्वेश्चन, दे कैन अल्टर द क्वेश्चंस. अदर इज डिफिशियंसी. वेरी गुड. दूसरा क्या होता है, डिफिशियंसी. ऑल राइट. सो दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट द मीन द टर्म इट, द टर्म मीन्स गोल्डन मीन्स का मतलब क्या होता है, दो एक्सट्रीम ऐसा जो एक ज्यादा हो और एक कम हो, राइट? दोनों चीज को आप आपने देखा होगा तराजू को इस तरीके से बैलेंसिंग किया हुआ होता है, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट द गोल्डन मीन. ओके, दिस इज अबाउट द गोल्डन मीन, दैट इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ एथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस दैट वी टॉक अबाउट द गोल्डन मीन. ओके, चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. इट इज अबाउट द फर्स्ट ombudsman for any newspaper in the world was appointed in, everybody. The first ombudsman for any newspaper in the world was appointed in Sweden, Japan, C, Austria, D, Great Britain. Everybody will answer. Very important questions. जल्दी से आंसर करेंगे. पहला ओम्बुड्समैन किसी न्यूज़पेपर के लिए अगर वर्ल्ड में जो चुना गया है, अपॉइंट किया गया है, तो किस कंट्री में अपॉइंट किया गया है, एवरीबॉडी? यस, दैट्स द राइट आंसर, दैट इज बी, जापान. जापान में सबसे पहले ओम्बुड्समैन हायर किए गए, अपॉइंट किए गए किसी न्यूज़पेपर के लिए पूरे वर्ल्ड में. ओके, दैट इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. सो जापान वाज द फर्स्ट वन टू अपॉइंट द न्यूज ओम्बुड्समैन. ओके, इन 1922 द असाही शिंबन, that the newspaper, the highest circulation of the newspaper that in the Tokyo or in the world, that formed a committee to address and investigate the readers' complaints. Okay, that the Asahi Shimbun is one of the 4 largest newspapers in the Japan, founded in the 1879. Okay, important newspaper, Asahi Shimbun. Okay, 1879. Oldest newspaper in the Japan and as well as in the Asia. Okay, very important. Okay, remember it. चलिए, so ombudsman क्या होता है? Ombudsman is an official or the usually appointed by the government who investigate the complaints usually lodged by the private citizens against the business or the financial institutions or the universities or the government departments or the public entities और any attempts to resolve the conflicts or the concerns raised. Okay, जो भी कंप्लेन किया गया होता है किसी गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट को या यूनिवर्सिटीज को या किसी फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन को या किसी बिजनेस को या पब्लिक एंटिटीज को, उसके अगेंस्ट में हम क्या करते हैं, कंप्लेन जो है उस कंप्लेन या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो भी चीजें उसको हम क्या करते हैं, रिजॉल्व करने की कोशिश करते हैं. दैट वी रिजॉल्व द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स और द कंसर्न्स व्हिच इज रेज्ड बाय द प्राइवेट सिटीजंस. ओके, और बाय द public. Okay, it is all clear about the ombudsman. The first ombudsman that we have to remember for any newspaper that was appointed by the Asahi Shimbun newspaper in the Japan. All clear, everybody? So now it's time to discuss the subjective question. Subjective question discuss करने का अब time हो गया. चलिए, yes, तो जल्दी से बताएंगे लैंग्वेज. Which language this newspaper published? Right, very good. Please note it down. Sakal is a Marathi language newspaper. Marathi language newspaper that, yes, published by the Sakal Media Group. Okay, very good. ये मैच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट? वेरी गुड. सो फाउंडर बताएंगे. एवरीबडी द फाउंडर ऑफ दिस न्यूज़पेपर, सकल न्यूज़पेपर्स, जल्दी से बताएंगे फाउंडर. एवरीबडी जल्दी से बताएंगे. एनीबडी? डॉक्टर नाना साहेब पारुलकर. ओके, यस, डॉक्टर नाना साहेब पारुलकर. प्लीज नोट इट डाउन, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. चलिए, ऑल राइट. नाउ टॉक अबाउट द लोक सत्ता. लोक सत्ता न्यूज पेपर बताएंगे किस लैंग्वेज? एवरीबडी. यस, दिस इज ऑल्सो अ मराठी न्यूज पेपर. ओके, मराठी न्यूज पेपर. इट published by the which group? Yes, that's Indian Express Group. Indian Express Group. और फाउंडर बताएंगे जल्दी से. फाउंडर, यस, रामनाथ गोयंका. वेरी गुड. चलिए, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, नोट डाउन करते चलेंगे. नेक्स्ट it is about the Maharashtra Times. महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स बताइए जल्दी से. न्यूज़पेपर that this is also, yes, write the years of the Lok Satta 1948. very good. लोक सत्ता का ईयर लिख लेंगे 1948. वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. यस, महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया ग्रुप का है. वेरी गुड. और बताइए, और क्या जानते हैं महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स के बारे में? मराठी लैंग्वेज न्यूज़पेपर, राइट? मराठी न्यूज़पेपर, यस, इन मुंबई. Number 3, that is founded in 1962. Very good. And more, that is owned by Bennett Coleman Company Limited. Okay, क्लियर है? जल्दी से बताएंगे. एवरीबडी इज क्लियर? ओके. नाउ बीबीसी की बताएंगे जल्दी से. बीबीसी इज द वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट एंड ओल्डेस्ट भी लिखिए. वर्ल्ड लार्जेस्ट एंड ओल्डेस्ट, यस, ब्रॉडकास्टिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. ओके, यस, लार्जर ब्रॉडकास्टर हैं पूरे वर्ल्ड में. फाउंडेड इन 1992, 90 to 22. वेरी गुड. एंड फाउंडर बताइए जल्दी से. फाउंडर जॉन. आगे, जॉन रीथ. ओके, यस. नंबर 4, that BBC main revenue source for a long time. जल्दी से बताएंगे. long time was, yes, that is license fee. very good, that is license fee. बीबीसी का जो मेन रेवेन्यू सोर्स था सबसे लंबे समय तक के लिए, वो लाइसेंसिंग फी था. ओके, BBC का main revenue, that the main revenue source of a BBC's was for a long time, that was licensing fee. It is all clear about the BBC. Please note it down. This question has already been asked in the match of the following questions. ठीक है, match of the following में पूछा जा चुका है this question, and this also question is already been asked. This question was already asked in the UGC-NET 2012 June. 2012 के जून में ये पूछा गया क्वेश्चन है. BBC main revenue source for a long time was the licensing fee. Okay, clear है? जल्दी से बताएंगे एवरीबॉडी. उदंत मार्तंड के फाउंडर बताइए जल्दी से, फाउंडर एवरीबॉडी। यस, जुगल किशोर शुक्ला, वेरी गुड। 1826 30th May, ओके। 30th May is the Hindi Journalism Day. Yes, first in the newspaper. Very good. First in the newspaper, Hindi Journalism Day is celebrated on 30th of May. That you have to remember. Okay. Next about the Areopagitica. Areopagitica, this is a book written by, जल्दी से बताएंगे? Yes, very good. That John Milton. This question has already been asked. ठीक है, ये भी questions पूछा जा चुका है. John Milton in the year, everybody, can anybody tell in the year? 1644. Okay, very good. चलिए, and also you have to remember Areopagitica जो था, that book John Milton, that what was the purpose of this book? क्या था everybody? Purpose of this book, everybody? क्वेश्चन जो पूछा जा चुका है वो क्वेश्चंस आपको लिख देता हूं. यस, वेरी वेरी गुड. It, the question was, exact questions was, Areopagitica has long been an inspiration for those demanding, everybody. Areopagitica has long been as inspiration for those demanding, yes, that is free praise. Okay, very good. That's the right answer. Okay, Areopagitica, this is a book written by the John Milton, which has long been an inspiration for those demanding free praise. Okay, all clear? Yes. Kiruba, it is clear to you? All right. चलिए. Okay. Next question here it is about, we will discuss about the sequence वाला questions हम practice करते हैं, right? Arrange in a sequence, ठीक है, वो sequence हम practice करते हैं. तो जल्दी से बताएंगे in terms of Chairman of Press Council of India. Chairman of the Press Council of India, जल्दी से बताते जाएंगे नाम. Okay, first, who was the first chairman of the Press Council of India? First number, please, everybody. Yes, Mudholkar. So Justice J.R. Mudholkar. Okay, first Justice J.R. Mudholkar. सेकेंड बताएंगे जल्दी से एवरीबॉडी. जस्टिस J.R. मुदोलकर के बाद, वेरी गुड, जस्टिस N. राजागोपाला अयंगर. ओके, वेरी गुड. 1968 to 76. Number 3, very good, Justice N. Sen. No, it is not N. Sen, it is N. Yes, N. Gruber. Very good, N. Gruber. N. Gruber 1979 to, yes, 85. N. Gruber के बाद N. Sen हुए. Yes, N. Sen, that is 85 to 89. All right. उसके बाद बताएंगे फिफ्थ नंबर, एन सेन के बाद, यस, आर एस सरकारिया. सब जस्टिस आगे लगा लेंगे. आर एस सरकारिया 1989 to 95. ओके, चलिए उसके बाद बताइए, आर एस सरकारिया के बाद पीबी सावंत, यस पीबी सावंत, नोट इट डाउन, 1995 टू 2001। उसके बाद बताइए, नो नो नो, इट्स नॉट द मार्केंडा काटजू, यस जयाचंद्र रेड्डी, के जयाचंद्र रेड्डी, वेरी गुड अभिलाषा, के जयाचंद्र रेड्डी, वेरी गुड, इट्स 2001 टू 2005। नेक्स्ट बताएंगे 8 नंबर, जी एन राय, वेरी गुड, जी एन राय, जी एन राय 2005 टू 2011, ओके, यस। 9th बताएंगे जल्दी से, यस मार्केंडा काटजू, मार्केंडा काटजू, जस्टिस मार्केंडा काटजू, 2011 to 2015, okay, and that is the last who is still, yes Chandramouli Kumar Prasad, Chandramouli Kumar Prasad, yes 2015 to till now or till date, okay। तो ये क्वेश्चंस 2 से 3 बार पूछा जा चुका है, राइट। दिस क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड 2 to 3 times in the pattern of chronological sequence, ठीक है। कोई भी आपको ये उठा लेंगे आपको और आपको देंगे क्वेश्चंस, ओके। सो यू हैव टू बी अलर्ट, दे कैन पिक एनी ऑफ द चेयरमैन of the Press Council of India and they will tell you to arrange in a sequence, okay, so that you have to remember the order, in order you have to remember किसके बाद कौन चेयरपर्सन आए, चेयरमैन आए, वो आपको याद रखना होगा, ओके। दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट द चेयरमैन ऑफ द प्रेस काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया। इट इज ऑल क्लियर एवरीबॉडी, यस प्लीज मेक द नोट्स पैरेलल विथ मी, ओके। चलिए बहुत ही सुंदर, ISBN, you know the ISBN, that is everybody stands for International Standard Book Number or the Indian Standard Book Number, क्या होता है जल्दी से बताएंगे, इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड बुक नंबर और द इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड बुक नंबर, विच वन इज द मोर अप्रोप्रिएट, यस इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड बुक नंबर, राइट, यस। ISBN जो होता है वो आपका क्या होता है, इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स बुक नंबर होता है, और कितने डिजिट का होता है जल्दी से बताएंगे, डिजिट्स, यस 13 डिजिट्स, राइट। 13 डिजिट से पहले कितने डिजिट का होता था एवरीबॉडी, बिफोर 13 डिजिट्स it is assigned, yes that was before 13 digits it was 10 digits, right, yes। और 2007 से after 2007 1st of January 2007 this is 13 digits long, it is assigned of the ISBN number, that is in international standard book number, okay। So this was all about that, we had discussed multiple choice question along with the subjective questions, okay। This is that things which is important and we have to remember each and every concept and terminology that we have discussed, okay। So now let's talk about the summarizations। अब हम समराइजेशन पे बात करते हैं, जल्दी से बताएंगे आपने क्या क्या सीखा, what you have learned in the 2 days everybody, चलिए जल्दी से बताएंगे what you have learned in 2 days, write it, Press Council of India, yes that is chairman, okay। Next we have learned ISBN, that is 13 digit long number, okay, इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड बुक नंबर, यस रिलेशनल इंफॉर्मेशन को लेकर हमने बात किया, यस वेरी गुड, यस। 4th दैट इज हमने बात किया ओम्बुड्समैन को लेकर, यस न्यूज़पेपर दैट पब्लिश्ड अपॉइंटेड बाय द जापान। 5th हमने बात किया उदंत मार्तंड के बारे में, यस founded in 30th of May 1826, okay, yes। सिक्स हमने बात किया सकल न्यूज़पेपर, यस रचना, लोक सत्ता, महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स, और हमने बीबीसी के बारे में बात किया दैट मेन सोर्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू इज अ लाइसेंसिंग फी, वी डिस्कस किया। यस, वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन इज डिसकंटिन्यूअस, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन जो होता है वो क्या होता है, वो डिसकंटिन्यूअस होता है, दैट वी हैव रिमेंबर्ड। यस, we have also discussed about the Areopagitica. This is what the book that written by a John Milton in the 1644. Yes, that demanding a free press. Also we have discussed about the Aristotle. एरिस्टोटल को लेकर हमने क्या डिस्कस किया था, गोल्डन मीन, यस, दैट टू एक्सट्रीम, यस वेरी गुड, बिटवीन टू एक्सट्रीम। और एनी अदर थिंग दैट वी हैव लेफ्ट, दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, कलर टेलीविजन, यस, हमने कलर टेलीविजन को लेकर भी डिस्कस किया दैट एशियन गेम्स के दौरान कलर टेलीविजन स्टार्ट हुआ हमारे कंट्री में इन द 1982 एशियाड गेम्स। ओके, yes, very good. Use of language mitigated greatly, yes, very good, that reality that we have discussed। language का, yes, language का use होता है वो, that is what imposes a grid on the reality। okay, yes, very good, the use of language। वर्बल कोड को हमने डिस्कस किया, वेरी गुड। वर्बल कोड जो होता है वो हमारा क्या होता है एवरीबॉडी, यस, वर्बल कोड इज, यस, लैंग्वेज, वेरी गुड। लैंग्वेज जो होता है वो हमारा क्या होता है, वर्बल कोड होता है, नॉट पेंटिंग, नॉट फोटोग्राफ, ओके, दैट द लैंग्वेज। चलिए, सो अबाउट आई थिंक वी हैव डिस्कस्ड more about 12 to 13 topics, so which is very much important, and this is what the summarization which helps you for the quick revision। ये आपके क्विक रिवीजन के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, प्लीज आप लोग इसको याद रखिए और नोट्स बनाते हुए चलेंगे। आपको किसी भी क्वेश्चंस को आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स क्वेश्चंस आपसे नहीं पूछा जाएगा।